Hello and welcome to Bottom Line. Well, the row over the ST status demand for Meiteis in Manipur is escalating. While the All Tribal Students Union Manipur has decided to fight the demand tooth and nail, the ST status demand committee Manipur has maintained that the ST status is the birthright of the community, that is Meiteis. While the STDCM is submitting memorandums to all Meitei MLAs in the valley in a bid to garner support for their movement, the ATSUM, the All Tribal Students Union Manipur, has now sought the support of tribal MLAs and leaders and even the Hill Area Committee to oppose the demand, which it calls illogical. The STDCM, meanwhile, believes that if the state government facilitates a discussion on the issue with stakeholders from other communities who have a different opinion on the demand, probably a solution or a middle path, a middle point can be reached at. Now, before I go to my guests, before I go to my panelists this evening, let's very quickly listen in to what Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh had to say on the issue, that is the ST status demand for Meiteis, while speaking exclusively to Northeast Live correspondent Sharat Chandra on the sidelines of an event in Imphal. Listen in.
The other side, Meitei communal tribe status. On the other hand, this ATSUM, other bodies are against this soul tribe status. How you are going to handle it, sir?
No, that's why in today's speech also I appeal to all of them, stop it. Whatever demand to be made, having submitted to the government. And whatever demand to be object, having submitted to the government. It is the sole responsibility of the government what to do or what not to do. We are performing under the constitutional provision. Whatever available, whatever granted by the constitutional provision, we'll do. We cannot do beyond that. But we should not make it is on communal line.
Well, to discuss the issue, I'm being joined by Working President of STDCM, Mr. L. Lokendra Singh. From New Delhi, I have with me ATSUM leader Henkai Singsit. I will also be joined shortly by Manipur Water Resources Minister, Mr. Awangbao Nyumai. And also joining me is Professor J. Dongle, professor and commentator from Mizoram University. A very warm welcome to all of you, gentlemen. We just heard what Chief Minister N. Biren Singh said. Well, he has made it very clear. Stop this. He is probably saying both to the STDCM and even the ATSUM. What the Chief Minister is saying is that the demand has been made, the memorandums have been submitted, those supporting the demand, those opposing the demand, they have made their points. Now leave it to the government. The government will take a call under the purview of the Constitution. How do you react to that, Mr. L. Lokendra?
That's exactly all these days. That we have, over the last 10 years, we have submitted a number of memorandums. We have submitted our request and our demand has been brought to the notice of the government. Time and again we have done it. But so far we have not got any positive response from the government as such. And he started this demand process or agitation in a democratic fashion from 26th of August last. And we have gone on for a number of days. And then finally, we had another convention, People's Convention, on 13th of October, as per which the people's mandate was that we should storm the residence of the MPs, ministers, MLAs, and submit our memorandum to make sure that the government of Manipur takes action on our request, our memorandum submitted so far.
No, yeah, we know
CM
all that
today.
Yeah. So the CM is saying the CM is saying that you have made your demands. You have made your demands. Now let the government take the call. There is no use pushing this. There is no use holding further demonstrations, submitting more memorandums, going to residences of probably more ministers or MLAs. You have made your demand. The government is aware of it. and that the ATSUM is opposing the demand, the government is aware of it, let the government now take the call. That's what the CM is saying. So how do you look at that? That was my question.
No, the point is, with all this agitation that we have been going so far, we were expecting a positive response from the government in the form of, let's say, a call or an invitation or asking us to come for a talk and to discuss the issue, that the government is likely to take on some action or the other. We were expecting some kind of positive response from the government. That response has not come so far. Nothing has come directly to the committee as such. And if the government would extend a sort of a, I'll call it a formal indication to us that to stop the agitation and to come on the table, we will gladly do so. But such an indication has not come from the government to us so far. So we are continuing with with our agitation till the government says in no uncertain terms that we should either stop the agitation or come to him and talk to him, or we should that the government has from here onwards taken on the issue wholeheartedly, and they'll be sending the recommendation in a short while or something of that sort, something really positive from the government side. We're waiting for it. Once that comes, we will decide what would be our next course of action.
Okay. Hankai Singh said the ATSUM, the All Tribal Students Union Manipur, has been keenly observing the situation so far, but now you have decided that it's time to act. So you have approached the tribal leaders, you have submitted memorandums, you want the HAC to also have a view on this. What do you think of the current situation?
You see, this very demand, whatever going on at the present, the tussle between the tribal people, it would be entirely wrong to say that it's particularly ATSUM's demand. You see, we are the apex body of all the tribal people, so since this is a common issue, it is the desire of the tribal itself that ATSUM should spearhead this movement against these illegitimate demands of our Meitei brethren. So actually, since 2012, we hardly react. We were just observing whatever steps they were taking. So most of the time, we just respond to them that this is whatever you are doing has no legitimacy. Yeah, everybody, this is a democratic country. Everybody, every community have a right to demand, whether it's legitimate or not. But looking at the present demands of our Meitei brethren and all the all the criteria laid down, we are very emphatic that our Meitei brothers does not fulfill the criteria that are laid down. So it's better that they stop this sarat. And until and unless they don't stop, I think definitely the tribal people will react.
All right. Professor Dongal, ATSUM leader Mr. Singh Seth feels that the demand, the ST status demand for Meiteis that has been raised by the STDCM is not legitimate. In fact, the ATSUM has termed it illogical. What do you feel about it? What is your opinion about it? I'll also take a reaction from Mr. Lokendra. Of course, he has a view on that, and he has been pushing for discussion between stakeholders from different communities on the issue so the common ground could be reached. But before that, Professor Dongal, what do you feel? Do you think it is a legitimate demand at this point in time after so many years?
I think I'm audible.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So both my co-panelists have spoken about their points, but I'll go to the constitutional background and historical background of tribe and scheduled tribe. See, when we look back at the colonial rule, So British colonialism began in Northeast India. If we go back to history, after the obtainment of Diwani of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa by Robert Clive, British came so close to northeastern territory. And the real annexation of Northeast India started after the annexation of Treaty of Yandabo on 24th February 1826. And during that time, Manipur and Tripura, they were kingdom. Except in Manipur and Tripura, rest of the tribal territories, they were neither part of any kingdom nor any civilization. The British came, the British conquered, the British annexed them in the province of Assam one after another. And the first tribal territory to be annexed was Garo Hills in 1822. And after that, other tribal territories like Naga Hills, North Kasar Hills, Mikir Hills, Garo Hills, Khasi Jantia Hills, Northeast Frontier Tracts, and Lusai Hills were annexed one after another. And when the British came into contact with the tribals, the British knew that these tribal people, they needed protection. And going back to the British rule, so for the first time during colonial rule, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes were loosely identified and loosely referred as depressed classes and Adivasis since 1850. Then after that, the British came to know that these tribal people require protection. If they were not protected, they might be assimilated by the majority plain people, and their custom, culture, tradition, and way of life needs to be protected. And due to that, many exclusive laws were enforced by the British. Exclusive laws like Regulation 10 of 1822, Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation 1873, Scheduled District Act 1874, Garo Hills Act 1869, Gin Hills Regulation 1896, Government of India Act of 1919, then some clause in Government of India Act of 1935. And those exclusive laws were enforced for protecting and preserving the tribals in hill territories of Northeast India. And during that time, as I've said, Manipur and Tripura were kingdom. And tribal territories in Manipur, they were not exactly covered by these exclusive laws, but they were governed and protected by these exclusive laws. So tribal requires protection.
So
Then,
what is the point that you're trying to make?
when
What
we
is-
talk
yeah.
about, I'll come to the point.
Yeah.
Wait for me.
Yeah.
I have to clarify my point first.
Okay, okay.
Then there is a well-defined established criterion for scheduled tribe. Who are the scheduled tribe and how scheduled tribe is identified and what tribal communities are scheduled tribes. There are well-defined criteria like geographical location of being originally living in hill and forest area. Those communities which live and settle in hill and forest area originally. Then backwardness from economic, educational, and social aspects. Those who were very backward from economic, educational, and social aspect. Then distinctive culture and signs of contact with other cultures and other people. So these are some of the criteria how scheduled tribe. And due to that, the hill tribes, tribal people, and in many different regions of Northeast, and those tribal in hill areas of Manipur and those Tripura, they are also identified with these common criteria. So in such a way, there are community who are tribal. There are genuine community who are tribal. But there are community who try to become and who become part of that through demand and political pressure. For example, let me come to the point. Now, in North India, there is very advanced Meena community who are recently included in the ST status. Because of the inclusion of Meena in the ST status, the genuine tribal in Northeast and many other part of tribals, they suffer a lot. Due to that, there are genuine group who should be very much in the group, but there are some who are not genuine originally, but who try to raise it through political demand and through political pressure. And from my observation and from my comment, I think you can make up your mind what is legitimate and what is illegitimate.
I'll take a quick response from Mr. L. Lokendra. Well, it's the same thing every time, Mr. Lokendra. Probably you've explained it over and over again. It is felt that the Meiteis do not qualify to demand ST status. That's the point that is being made every time.
Right. Let us look at it from this angle. We in the Meitei community, we believe that our existence in our land of Manipur, ancestral land, is threatened. And our survival is at stake. Therefore, we are asking for a constitutional right. And that constitutional right can only be given by the government of India. That cannot be given by the state or anybody else. And the government's job here at the state level is only to recommend. The deciding authority or the competent authority is the government of India. The issue will be scrutinized at the Home Ministry as well as at the tribal ministry level. Only thereafter, a final call will be taken by the collective body of the government. And if required, they will take a cabinet decision and go ahead with further whatever is to be done. So the issue has to be seen on the basis of merit. And the competent authority to say whether this merits granting ST status or not will depend on what is decided by the competent authority at the Government of India level. Anybody else other than the Government of India has no local standing, no authority to comment or say that they do not fit this criteria or they do not fit that criteria. When the government sends its requisite
I'll take a reaction.
report,
I'll take a reaction on this from Professor Dongal. Hankai Singsit, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you in a moment. Hankai Singsit, Professor Dongal, can survival at stake as the STDCM working president is saying, for Meiteis their survival is at stake, and hence the case has to be seen through merit and a decision has to be taken. Is that a justified stand? Can more communities demand, saying that their survival is at stake, and demand ST status? Because a lot of benefits come with it. Let's face it. And that is the bone of contention here. When you talk about the Meena community, that is the bone of contention again. The seats, the reservation, the quota.
See, frankly speaking, now the newly emerging trend in India is the majority communities are feeling insecure against the minority community. This is, so to say, a sorry development. Why the majority feel insecure? This is happening almost in every part of India. So if there should be amicable settlement and peaceful coexistence as Indian, the majority community should be mature enough to know their responsibility.
Let's talk about Manipur in this context.
The minorities should also know what to do. And having said that, there should be peaceful coexistence. But if the majority communities feel that they are insecure, what will be the security of the minority people? See, going back to history, as seen and claimed in Manipur history, Manipur had progressive civilization, and there were 74 kings in Manipur from 33 AD till 1949, till merger to Indian Union. There was progressive civilization in Manipur with civilized kingdom, but that progressive civilization with civilized kingdom, claiming to be within the scheduled tribe, to be together with the people whom they called earlier How to. Is it not a prestige issue for advanced community who were already advanced and progressive from earlier? Is it appropriate? I think that should be pondered of. So what I would like to tell is that so long as majority community feel insecure, then what will be the security of the minority community? Due to that,
I'll,
as Indian,
I'll
to
quickly
live
go to
together in a country in unity, in diversity.
And
There
can I,
shall be
Yeah,
peaceful
yeah.
coexistence,
Mr. Lokendra wants to
where
respond
both the
very
majority
quickly.
and minority
Mr. L.
should
Lokendra
know
wants to
their
respond.
respective responsibility.
Mr. L. Lokendra wants to
Right.
respond. Yes.
no, what I was trying to, no, the point at here is that the contention of the speaker just said is that the Meiteis are the majority community, and if Meiteis become ST, what will happen to the minorities? Now, where is the
I
problem
don't
with the
mean
entire
about
state is
that. That
declared
was
as
not
a
my
tribal
point.
state?
Please don't divert my point.
What is
That is
the
not my point.
problem?
I didn't raise
What
that
is
point.
the problem if the Meiteis are declared as ST and the entire Manipur state is declared as a tribal state? Now the idea that Meiteis will become they are the majority. Therefore, once with the Meiteis become ST, the privileges and whatever is the rights and to what the present STs are enjoying will be snatched away or taken away by the Meiteis. That perhaps is the worry of the speaker. Now, my point is, we as a STDCM have been saying it repeatedly again and again from time to time that if the question is of quota system in the state, we have said that like it is done in other states, for example, Nagaland, or let's take the example of Assam also. You have the quota reserved for Plains tribe and Hills tribe. Bodos are taken as Plains tribe and they are given 10% reservation. And
No, interruption. Nagaland does not have Plain tribe. Nagaland does not have Plain tribe. Only Assam has Plain tribe.
Okay.
There is no
Yeah.
Plain tribe in
Therefore,
Nagaland.
Absolutely.
what I'm saying is that once the Meitei become ST,
So you should be to the point.
quota
You should
in
be
the
to the
state
point.
can be adjusted
Nagaland
as
has
per
no
it is
plain
done
tribe.
in other states. What they are getting as of now, 31%, they continue to get that. And that will be protected. That the state government will take a call on that. And there should be no issue whatsoever. It is only a point of the ATSUM or whoever is not happy with the situation to put up their grievances to the state government, and the state government will take a call on it that their reservation in the state, which is at the moment so much, that will remain as it is and will not be disturbed. So in that case, what is the problem if the Meiteis become ST and the whole Manipur becomes a tribal state and we all live together on the same platform as STs?
Hankai Singsit, your reaction on this?
That is the point I would like to make it.
Hankai Singsit, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Encore. Actually, you see, I could not very much get the audio of.
Yeah, basically what Mr. L. Lokendro was saying is that the Meiteis in state feel insecure today and they do need ST status for protection. And if it is a question of quota, well, probably a formula can be worked out where the quota for the hill tribes is not disturbed. Probably something like that can be worked out. That's what he is indicating. If that is the case, will that be acceptable?
You see, the situation in Manipur, actually ATSUM is not fighting only for the tribals of Manipur. It is fighting for the whole tribals of India, because we know that Meiteis are more sophisticated and advanced than the Meiteis communities. They might be saying something, but we know their academic aptitude. So, responding to what was said, you see, now and then they have been projecting that Meiteis are under the threat of extinction. This is something very surprising also, because how can a population there have a community there have population over 15 to around 20 lakhs, say they will just vanish from the surface of the earth? This is something incredible and unbelievable. This is a thing they have been projecting and driving fear into the heart of these ignorant people. You see, uh, as I have said, in Manipur we have very minute community like Chothes, Aimor, Purum, Koireng, these tribes. They are tribals. They are only 2,000, 3,000 in population and 4-5 villages. These people could have come out and said that we are under the threat of extinction. But to be very honest, it is the majority tribe, the people who wears most political power, are saying that they are under the threat of extinction. And our question is, extinction from whom?
Why?
Who are going to, so let me come to my point. They are saying that they are under the threat of extinction from immigrants, influx of immigrants. When they term the coin, when they, to be very honest, immigrants in the sense is traders, business person who come to Manipur. Say Deshwali, Marwaris, and people from the mainland India who are more occupied with commerce and trade. Yet, to be very honest, also, if you look at Infar, there are only two enclaves, two localities where you will see these outside people: Thangal Bazar and Pauna Bazar. Please mark my word: Thangal Bazar and Pauna Bazar. These are the only two enclaves that you will see where these outsiders are. And to claim that because of these outsiders, the influx of these outsiders, Meiteis population are under the threat of extinction, I think this is something very ridiculous also. And to be very honest, in Valley there are 6 districts. Out of 6 districts, if you go to Moirang, you'll not see outsiders. If you go to Thobar district, you will not see outsiders. If you go to Kakching, you will not see any, maybe hardly 1 or 2 insignificant number you will see. But if you accept these two, what I've just said, Thangar Bazar and Pauna Bazar, you will not see the presence of these outside traders or shopkeepers there. And to put that as a pretext that Meitei society is going to be under the threat of extinction.
So this
And
brings me.
if this is an issue, ST demand have nothing to do with the extinction of a community or not. But as I said, how can 15 lakh population, a community with 15 lakh population, a communities which have 40 assembly seats out of 60, say they are under the threat of extinction? To be very honest, I'll just tell you one thing. Tribals, we are 43% of the population. We occupy 90% of the land. Our valley brethren, they occupy only 10% of the land. And last time they said that they are around 50% of the community. But in terms of distribution of resources, tribals are very resentful when it comes to the distribution of resources. You see, to be very honest, in 2020, the delimitation commission sent an order to the government of Manipur for exercising delimitation, but tribals should get, now it is tribals 20, 40 valley people. If that delimitation was exercised in letter and spirit, tribal will get 25 seats and valley people will get 35. They objected. That means they don't want more representation of the tribals.
That is a. Yeah,
You see,
I will just quickly take a reaction.
In every aspect of life, tribals are underrepresented. You go to Manipur University. In Manipur University, out of 200 assistant professors, associate professors, and professors, you will see only 9, 10 tribals. And you go to all the major central institutions, you will see very negligible presence of tribals. You see, these are real apprehensions that we have. They might
Okay,
say something, but
I
you
will
see, they
quickly
are
take a
not in a
reaction. I'll
position to
quickly take a
accommodate us.
reaction. I'll quickly take a reaction from Mr. L. Lokendro. The question that the ATSUM leader and of course Professor Dongal is also raising in a way is that why are the Meiteis feeling insecure all of a sudden in Manipur? That which you are saying is the basis of your ST status demand.
It has not happened all of a sudden. We've been demanding this issue for the last 10 years. The issue did not come up just yesterday or day before yesterday. For the last 10 years, we've been asking for this, for the government to take a call on this issue. The basic fact is that in 1951 census, the Meiteis population ratio was 59% of Manipur's total population. And in 2011 census, it has come down gradually over the period of time and has come down to 44%. Now, as per the census of this latest 2021 census, the figures are not out. We are afraid that it will come down from 44 to 42 or 41%, we don't know. So the fact remains that the total demographic effect of the Meiteis is going down slowly but surely. And only of late, a couple of months ago, when the demand for inclusion of the minority Hindus of 8 states to be declared as minority in that state, Meiteis were included into it. And the very fact that the Meiteis of Manipur were being included in the list of the states where the Hindus are to be declared as minority is an indicative fact, factually, figure-wise, that the Meiteis are becoming minority in their own state. Let's accept that fact. It is a government record, not our record. And it's a government initiative that the Meiteis, who are the Hindus of this state, be declared as minority with 7 other states. Hindus of 7 other states. That itself is a call that the Meiteis are going extinct slowly but surely. Now, but another point that I'm trying to make is that the hill areas are protected by the Constitution. The land is protected, the people are protected. Only the valley area is open to protection. It is not protected as yet. And look at it from this angle also. The valley area is inhabited by all the ethnic tribes of Manipur along with Meiteis. And protection of this land is not exclusively for the Meiteis. We have all the ethnic tribes settled in the valley area. And if the valley area is also protected, that protection will be for those people other than Meiteis who are the ethnic tribes from the hills but now settled in the valley. So this protection will be a collective protection, not only for the Meiteis, I say that again, for all the ethnic tribes of Manipur now settled in the valley. So once the valley is also protected constitutionally, the entire Manipur state is protected constitutionally. Now what is wrong with that?
Well, I'll get a quick reaction from Professor Dongal.
That is the issue I'm trying to...
Yeah, Professor Dongal, you just heard. Well, the hill areas are protected. What's wrong if the valley, if the valley is also protected? That's what the STDCM leader, working president, is saying here. Of course, we all know the root problem lies, or the root cause of contention lies in the fact that the ST status comes with the quotas and the perks and the reservations.
See, when I raised the point, why majority community feel insecure? I raise it not only particularizing Manipur alone. I raise it for India as well. As professor of political science, this is my concern. Why? The majority communities feel insecure in different parts of India.
Well,
If unity in diversity is to be maintained,
Mr. L. Lokendro feels that the Meitei population is going down, or if we see the percentage, maybe it can go down to around 40 or 42% in the next census. Yeah,
I'll come to the point.
That's the concern.
there are genuine group and there are non-genuine group who try to enter in the group through the back door, as I've already mentioned. And like when we come to Manipur also, there are genuine scheduled castes in Manipur. You may not be aware of it. Like some genuine scheduled castes in Manipur are Sekmai, Kurkul, Hazing, Andro, and Tarinpokpi and all. But after that, some communities, some areas, they pressurize the government, and through political pressure, some are added to scheduled caste list. So, and likewise, there are communities who are genuine, which has been supported by anthropological evidence, sociological evidence, and historical evidence. So, whether a community is scheduled tribe or scheduled caste or other backward classes, it is proved economically, sociologically, anthropologically. So, anyone can claim, but there are genuine group who are already there. So, the Constitution of India also accords scheduled caste and scheduled tribe status as found in Article 342, Clause 1 and 2, to genuine group who are uh, supported by anthropological evidence, sociological evidence, and historical evidence. So it is very clear. I think there is no much point to raise on this. And having come to Manipur, yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
it has been mentioned constitutional rights should be granted, constitutional rights should be protected. Then let me mention about the constitutional rights which are denied to the tribal people of Manipur, which has been demanded since the late 60s. So, Constitution of India granted autonomy, constitutional autonomy to different hill tribes in Northeast India, which has been denied to tribals of Manipur till now, this 6 years ago. Then, so this demand has been for more than 5 decades now, which is still denied to the tribal. Then, why some communities should raise demand one after another, but the demand of
See, that's
the other
yeah. I
marginalized
get your point.
communities
I
should
get
be
your point.
neglected.
I get
What
your,
I feel is that there are genuine group and there are non-genuine group. It is very clear.
I get your point, but it is once again debatable now in several parts of the region whether the ADCs are actually helping the people. That's a debate for another day, which will take a lot of time. Well, yeah, L. Lokendra, you want to make a point very quickly. Yes, Mr. Lokendra, you wanted to make a point.
Now, what we yeah, certainly. That is the argument. It's nice to hear it, but let's see it from the other angle. Manipur was merged to the Indian Union in 1949. Before that, Manipur was an independent kingdom which had a egalitarian society. There was no scheduled caste, there was no scheduled tribe. We were all one and the same. Now, if you take the record little backwards, in 1891,
But scheduled tribe protection was
Meiteis
here
were
since
declared
colonial
as
rule.
forest tribe of Manipur, right? And then in 1901 census, Meiteis were declared as the main tribe of Manipur, right? And then again 1931 census, which the government of India depends upon even today for enlisting new communities in the ST list. 1931 census had declared Meiteis as wholly Hindu tribe, but retaining their distinctive language and culture. Now, if you go by this government record, which is a census record, an authentic government record, that means till the next census of 1951, the Meiteis continued to be a Hindu tribe. Let's take it that way. Now, in 1950, when India attained independence and India's program of making scheduled tribe and scheduled caste was taken up, the list for the scheduled tribes was based on the census report of 1931 as stated by local committee which gave this point in 1965. Now, local committee had clearly stated that based on the census of 1931, those who were declared as tribe in 1931 census, a few more were added to it, and they were given as scheduled tribe in 1950-51. So, on all accounts, Meiteis should have automatically been included in the scheduled tribe list then. But for some reason or the other, they were left out. We look at it that the government of India had discriminately left out the Meiteis from enlisting in the scheduled tribe list in 1950-51.
Mr. Lokendra, let's put it this way. Well,
let
very quickly.
Let me finish that.
Okay.
So what we are saying is that, so I'll come to that. What we are saying is that the government of India had committed an error in 1950-51. What Meiteis should have been enlisted then, we were left out indiscriminately by the government of India. Now what we are asking and demanding today is what was left out then that may be enlisted now. The error that was committed by the government of India then, that may be rectified now.
The question
now,
that Mr.
That's Segmai Parek.
The question that Mr. Dongle.
No, I'm coming on the scheduled caste. Wait.
Yeah.
With the question of. Now, let me complete the scheduled caste also. That there are scheduled castes in Manipur. Because they were wrongly classified as scheduled castes in 1950-51. Manipur never had scheduled castes before it was entered, it merged with India. So it was the wrong classification at that point of time. We are asking for rectification now. Like it was Jharkhand. The Bhokta community of Jharkhand, who were enlisted as scheduled caste for the last 75 years, they were notified on 5th of April 2022, that the current year, that they were de-enlisted from scheduled caste and enlisted as scheduled tribe on 5th of April 2022. So what was, and their claim was that they were only classified then in 1950-51. So by the same logic, we're asking for, we are asking the government to rectify the mistake which was committed in 1950 to be corrected now. What was not enlisted then may kindly be enlisted now. What was enlisted wrongly as scheduled caste, they may kindly be enlisted as scheduled tribe, as was done in Jharkhand.
The question that Professor Dongle and Hankai Singh are also asking is that you yourself said your movement didn't start yesterday, it started 10 years back, but still what took you 60 years? What took you 60 years to realize that you needed a movement? Very quickly, and I'll take a reaction from Hankai Singh shortly.
So, bizarrely,
so what is wrong with what is wrong with coming to yesterday, for 10 years back? It's not necessary that the awakening should take place long time ago. Why if we are woken up now?
Okay, Hankai Singh, hold on.
Our constitution right now, what's wrong with that?
Okay, I'm coming to the point.
I mean, I fail to understand the logic behind it. If a community is at a point of time that a wrong has been done, the wrong needs to be corrected. So what is the wrong with that? What is the objection against that?
Whereas,
what is the grievance of the other communities on that?
From buying land in the hills, to be very honest, we just would like to give a very short answer. Imphal is the capital of Manipur. If the capital of Manipur is not cosmopolitan in character, if it don't want to accommodate all sections of society, community who are living in Manipur, it has no rights to be the capital of Manipur, or shift the capital somewhere, because every capital.
That's what.
I am coming to the point. The crux of the demand is land. Whatever they might have said, now they have started coming out openly. Imphal is inundated. Imphal have reached saturation point. So they need to be allowed to enter the hill. Even very few days back, one of their MLAs said that limiting Meiteis to just 10% of the state territory is unfair. And you see, I will talk about the hills. Yeah, doubtless, we occupy 90% of the hill areas, the area of the total area of Manipur. But you see, if you go to the hill, you will find only gorges, ravines, and very inhospitable mountainous terrains. There is not fit for human habitation. If you go to all hill district headquarters except one or two, most of the district headquarters are parks on the top of mountain. Most of the tribal villages are parks on the top of the mountains, not habitable, not suitable for human habitation. Why are they always trying to making
Audio is
some
not clear. Can you
excuses?
just,
And the main intent is land. We know
Can you
tribals
just
deep
give
in
some
deep down. We know that right from the beginning. The intent is to grab the land of the tribals. That is one big apprehension we are having right now, and they have started coming out openly. So if this is going to be the main reason why they are demanding, yeah, not only land, but those jobs and those reservation posts in center, as we have just said, even in MLA also, if it had been judiciously as distributed, tribal would have got 25 and it should be 25, 30. Just go to, in Manipur, there are 16 districts. There are 16 districts. The Hill district have got 10 districts. And out of these 10 districts, we have only 9 colleges. But in 6 districts of Manipur, a valley, they have got 26 colleges, and they call it justice. There are districts that have not a single college. But in every valley district, they have 4 or 5 colleges. They will deprive us and they call it that justice. That's why tribal have serious apprehension when it comes to jobs and resource allocation. Yeah, what is the harm if we live together? But we have always told them, build trust. There is an urgent need to build trust. The majority have not been doing that. Instead of doing that, they have they have significant 40 seats. And using that number, they are trying to bulldoze into the tribal land. I think this is something we can't accept.
So do you want, Mr. Singh, do you want the HAC, the Hill Area Committee, to take a stand on this? Do you want the HAC to come out with a statement on this?
They have to take. They represent the tribal people. They are the voice of the tribal. They have to stand. Actually, yeah, we will never say that what the Meiteis are demanding is per se illegal. But what we are saying is, looking at the context of Manipur, there are many homeworks they should have done. They should have accommodated the tribals. Yeah, the Hill Area Committee should address the real and apprehension that the tribal, each and every tribals are having. If not, I think it's not going to be good for the hair of
Okay,
Manipur.
I'm running out of time. I'll just take a quick reaction from Mr. L. Lokendro. Mr. Lokendro, you have been pressing the government to facilitate.
no, wait a minute. Just a second. I went out of the
I'll
for a short while. I couldn't hear the complete discourse.
Okay, what I'm asking you is that the STDCM wants the government, wants the Chief Minister to facilitate talks with various stakeholders from different communities who have a different opinion on your demand. But do you think talking really will help? Because this is something which the Hill organizations are opposing, and their fear is that the Meitei population may settle in parts of the hill areas as well. That is one of the fears. There is no harm in coexisting. There is no harm in coexisting, and we have to coexist. In a state, we have to coexist. But again, they fear that their land resources will shrink. So do you think under the circumstances it will be helpful even if the government were to facilitate talks? Do you think any middle point can come out quickly?
It's a fear that is more of a fabricated fear. Technically, yes, when Meiteis become the STs, the Meiteis may have the right to settle in the hills. But let's look at it from this angle. That in the process of migration of people, it is the people from the difficult areas who come down to a better place and settle over there, right? And then likewise, all the hill brethren that we have, whenever they have sufficient money, the first and foremost aim is to buy a plot of land in Manipur Valley area and settle there. What I'm trying to get at is that everyone wants to settle in the valley area, which is the administrative hub, educational hub, and it is the economic hub of the state. Everyone wants to settle in a nice place. Now, I, having stayed in this valley area for the last 50, 60 years, let us say, that I get a right to settle in the hill. Do you think people will migrate from here, from a good place, and settle there in the hills?
Well,
somebody will go from here and
you have made your
in
point. Fair
Kamjong
enough.
or
Fair
somewhere
enough.
in Tengnoupal
Fair
or
enough.
somewhere in this thing. You're taking things too
Fair
far.
enough. Fair enough, Mr. Lokendra. Well, you have made your point.
Taking things too far. But
People
what about
from
it?
people from valley will in all probability not migrate to the hills. But the point that you made, the valley Imphal districts are the hub of education, it is the administrative headquarters. So probably the idea is to develop the entire state equally so that the people from the hills also do not need to migrate. That will also solve a lot of issues. But as of now, this debate rages on and the ball is in the court of the Manipur government. That's a wrap of Bottom Line tonight.